everybody. I hope you all are doing fantastic. I am super excited about our live chat today, which I'll be honest with you, sometimes live chats can be a little nerve-wracking for me because the comment section can just be fire, 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 but that's okay because we have two guys here today who, yes, are also named Allie, and they are excited about the comment section. So I'm going to just bring them in real fast. Here we go. Allie, and Allie, three Allies, one live stream. And guys, thank you for being on this live stream first off, just to say thank you. But I wanted to make sure before I get into this, so anybody who just decides, I hate the name Allie, I'm not watching this, but I will go watch two Allies, not three, can go to your channel and just see the two of you if they hate me. And the link is in the description. Yeah.
Link in the description.
Link in the description.
To the show on YouTube.
I was on Allie and Allie's, so it's A Squared podcast, right? And
it's a great podcast.
A Squared the show.
So give us the rundown. We are obviously, I titled this, the free speech and bias and censorship and all that kind of stuff, and wanted to get your perspective as folks who understand how people are thinking about this in the Middle East. You guys, maybe you could just say, Allie 2 is in LA right now, but his family's from Lebanon. Allie 1 is in Kuwait, and just tell us, like, why did you guys decide to start a podcast? Who the heck are you? You know, just give us kind of the updated. And one quick thing I do want to add is that Allie 2, who's on the other side from me, not in the middle, has the best laugh of anybody on the face of this earth. And I really want to make it my ringtone.
Let's go.
I'm telling you,
Amazing.
It is. It's amazing. You have the best
His
laugh. It's like
is contagious until you hear it 200 times.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Let's get the show now. Yeah.
Before we started this, I said that they should be careful about getting married because they were listening to me and Lynn bicker. And then Lynn was like, no, they're already basically sound like they're married to each other. So
pretty much, yeah.
All right, take it away, guys. Tell us who you are.
All right, Ali, you want to start off or should I go first?
Straight to the show. I'm Ali. I live in LA. And we started this podcast so we can talk about all the different things around the world. We care a lot about politics. And we had Alison on to talk about free speech and media censorship. And that was one of the best episodes we've had. Yeah.
Thank you.
Much. And my name is Ali, I'm a medical student. Doesn't mean I'm smart. I'm actually dumbass, retarded. And what else is there to say about me? The way we started this podcast was actually pretty stupid. Ali called me and it was 4 a.m. my time. And he's like, want to start a podcast? I was like, sure, why not? Next day we filmed our first episode. That's how we got started off. And here we are today with Alison. How about that?
You're big time. It's official.
Yep, it's official.
You all have had some really interesting guests, from, comedians to a belly dancer, which we did say that my husband is a fantastic belly dancer, a whole range of topics. You guys go for about an hour or so on each one, and people can really learn a lot. I like watching. You guys have very high production value too, I will say. You're way better at the branding of the A Squared podcast than the Alison Morrow show. So kudos to you for that.
It takes a lot of effort, but it takes a lot of people to run A2 the show, believe it or not. Like we're a team of 5 basically. It's us 2 and 3 other people. So
wow.
It's so shout out to Ali Said, shout out to Nader, Jessica, all of them, because they're the ones who are really the ones like running our Instagram page, helping us with editing some of the video, and because all we do is basically either edit the video or just sit down for an hour and talk. So
you're the Rogans. Okay, so am I saying it right? Is it A2 or A Squared?
It's whatever you want.
It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to be.
But we started off as A Squared the show.
Right.
But I kept saying A2 the show by accident, and people started picking up on A2 the show. Okay. So now it's like A2 the show. Basically.
It's all the same.
What I like about it too is that my original old like maiden name was started with an A, so I was also like myself. I was A Squared. That's what people used to call me. So I really do feel like we are soulmates, you guys. I really do feel like we're very connected. Right. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is obviously things have been pretty insane. Yeah.
I told him to stop. I'm sorry. I told him to stop. He just wouldn't.
What told who to stop? Trump or Ali
I told
too?
no.
I told Trump to stop.
Ali too. Imagine if I could tell Trump to. You can't save a lot of the shit he's already done.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy. Wait, so sorry, we cut you off right there.
Well, I want to talk to you guys about, I mean, we're got a wide variety of topics to discuss today, but let's go straight to, like, what is happening right now with the social media platforms, because I want to kind of know what you all are talking about too. Like, you know, what is the rest of the world thinking as you're seeing Trump get booted off of these social media platforms? We've heard from other world leaders about it, and so I'm just curious. I mean, what's the chatter, and what are you guys thinking when you were seeing all this happen? And then, you know, any other thoughts about that?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
It's about goddamn time.
Oh my God.
Start there. Honestly, listen. Here's my whole view on the situation. Right. Before we do, three alleys are not what I expected to see today. Lol. Howdy. How's it going?
How's it going?
My whole thought on the situation is to be the president of the United States, which means you're the leader of the free world, which means you are in a very high position, and you act so childish on social media, it kind of lessens the respect for President of the United States. Because let's face it, other countries see you guys as either the greatest military in the world, or land of the brave, home of the free, or, you know, like
all kinds of other terrible things, like colonizers and whatnot. Let's just throw it out there.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is when you hold such an honorary title yet act so childish, you make everyone look bad, because it makes it look like the people under you are terrible and the people under them is terrible, and it just goes down the line of command, right? So it's about time he got shut up on Twitter.
So you and I got into this debate when I was on your show, because, you know, I tend to fall on the really, like, pro speech side of the spectrum, and I don't, you know, I may not like what people like Trump have, you know, been saying over the last, I don't know, several weeks or even years, but I see it as, you know, I see it on the spectrum of, like, where does it end, and who draws the line, and what does that get us if you have these companies who can deplatform the president of the United States? Like, what does that mean for the rest of us? Say you're an actual political dissident, you're like an Assange or somebody who has really important information to share. What kind of precedent does that set? So it's not so much preserving it for Trump. It's trying to figure out, where does this take us, and the amount of power that these companies have, where we really have no recourse. We're not voting for anybody in Silicon Valley. They kind of own not just the platforms themselves, but they own the devices that we're using. So we saw, right, that it was like, okay, you could just go start your own internet service provider, right? You could go create your own platform like Parler, but then they got booted from Apple products. So there just seems to be, like, this encroachment on, like, what about the rest of us that are just trying to, like, what if you guys all of a sudden, I don't know, just decided to do something nuts, but it was really important, you know, not that you guys would do that, but just say it's really important for all us to hear what the A Squared podcast is talking about, because you've discovered some cure for something, but the pharmaceutical companies don't want us to know, and then, well, we're booting him because he's talking about dangerous, crazy things. That's my concern. What do you think, Ali, too?
Yes, I think exactly as you say. I've seen this around the world, especially in the Middle East, how, like, social media is a tool for people to start revolutions. The whole Arab Spring that happened in 2011 and such was started by people organizing through social media. And then afterwards, the government got caught on that people were organizing through social media. And guess what? They started murdering journalists and arresting journalists around the world, and some journalists have to even leave the country. I mean, in my country, Lebanon, right now, there are a bunch of digital activists that can't stay in the country of Lebanon. They have to do it from outside of the country, because they know that if you're in the country trying to speak your mind about anything that's going on, you're going to get in very, very, very big trouble. And it's a privilege in the United States. Okay, you can maybe say that Trump's like a conspiracy theorist, or he's just calling out things just to cause trouble. But what if you actually need to call out things for what they are? You know, what if the media is lying to us in a bunch of different ways, and we need to call them out?
Yeah,
what are we supposed to do?
No, go ahead. Sorry, finish that. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, but what are we supposed to do in this situation when we don't have the choice when our friends are calling for censorship? I don't know.
Yeah, and you guys have had people on your podcast, right, who have been really brave. Do you want to talk at all about that one journalist you told me about?
Yeah, we've had a bunch of journalists on the show.
We had a bunch of them, yeah. Right. Most of them had to go through dangerous situation, but I think the worst was Alina I can't say her last name. Yeah. Beaupre, yeah. Belarusian journalist. She had to leave her country, and she even got in a dangerous spot where they sent I'm not sure what it was because she wasn't too clear on what it was, but they sent a letter to the government, like Alexander Lukashenko's government sent a letter to her family saying, tell your daughter to cut that shit off, basically. And it was because of our show, right? Wow. And we gave her the option of, do you want us to take that video down? We definitely will. And she said, no, keep it up. People got to know. Right?
That's brave.
And it's very brave because we had people that came on our show and did not show their face. She showed her face, and like it's the amount of respect I have for her is amazing. But that's on the oppressive side of government control censorship, right? It's like the crazy of the crazy when that kind of stuff happens. Not saying that it doesn't happen. Clearly, it does happen.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. I'm not saying again.
Around the world, there are so few places that have free speech. If you really,
I wanna be very clear. I am not just. It's not that I'm against freedom of speech where you're not allowed to say anything. You have to conform to the government's will. No, I want freedom of expression, right, while maintaining respect. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes us all, unite more, as the same level of respect towards each other.
But
right, like I believe you could.
No, well, I was just gonna say that. I mean, so first off, you have to then once again define the term of what does respect mean and who gets to decide what is respectful and what's not respectful. The other thing is you have great orators in American presidential past who did terrible things behind the scenes. Okay, we don't have to go so far back in history to find those people. So I just think it's like it's one of those things where I guess I find quite a bit of hypocrisy when it comes to where we're at right now. And like people will again they'll say like but this is it's just so anathema to us. It's so grotesque the way that, and I do think a lot of the reason that people don't like Trump has a lot to do with his personality. I mean, I don't actually have to go that, I'm not like making this up. It's something the Pew Research Center has studied and talks about, like even the news coverage itself has focused a lot on personality and not policy. Because frankly, like it's more interesting. Okay. As much as people say they hate it, the media in the United States has made a lot of money off of just focusing on the repulsiveness of Donald Trump's personality, and so I find it hypocritical, to say like, oh, and now we're gonna just like we had great ratings and we got lots of money and we gave this guy tons of advertising before the 2016 election and all this stuff, but now we just hate what he's saying and we're gonna boot him off. I don't know. It's a little fishy to me. I'm just gonna say it seems fishy.
Yeah,
it is.
And how many people?
I just want to respond to this real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I want to say real fast on the screen: 2 alleys are a double negative, so a positive. That's what someone said.
So a positive. How about that?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, 3 brings about to negative. Anyways.
Oh no.
Atomic Bong said, if you don't like someone's tweet, don't follow or read them. Simple. It's not that I don't like his tweets. I find it hilarious. Like it's funny as hell, but it's just.
You retweeted
behind being a president, dude. I've retweeted some of.
See what I mean? Oh my god!
But it's not that how do I say this? It's that again, it all comes down to the level of respect and prestige of being a president and the leader of the free world, not just the United States. Let's face it, he who has the strongest army pretty much rules the world. Don't quote me on that. I don't know who said that. I don't know. I heard this somewhere. It might have just popped into my head, but it's true. It's very true.
Yeah, go ahead, Ali, too.
Yeah, you consider yourself like that politically correct? That I feel like you can be in the illusion like, okay, I say some words and I'm very, like Obama. He's like a great orator, right? He doesn't say dumb things on Twitter, but it's your actions that really define who you are as a president or as anybody. So why are we so concerned about what this guy is tweeting as opposed to what he's actually doing and done for the country?
Yeah, and I think also that it's just, once again, it just comes back to, like, because a lot of people, like, I can see some of the comments in the comment section. I mean, let's see here. I'm gonna go to one that, let's see, from, yeah, okay, so this is no name. Stupid is as stupid does, and it created some stupid shit, did it not? No, I mean, absolutely. Like, there are consequences to speech, right? And that good, bad, ugly, all that stuff. It's just, once again, what I go back to is, who is going to call it stupid? You know, one person's stupid is another person's brilliant. One person's controversy or conspiracy is maybe just something that is 30 years ahead of its time. I often bring up, and I know this is not Trump, for instance. It's not like he discovered hand washing. I would be shocked. But there was a doctor who 100, 200 years ago was the one who said, hey, we should be washing our hands before you deliver a baby. And he basically depleted, or I don't know if that's the right word. He figured out how to keep maternal deaths from being as high as they were, because all these women were dying from infection. And it was just this very simple thing, like, well, just wash your hands. And we take that for granted now because it's science, right? We just call that. And if you said that was crazy, people would think you're crazy nowadays. But that guy, he was put in an insane asylum, I think, at the end of his life, because germ theory hadn't been discovered yet. And so that's the stuff that I really get concerned about, is that, it's like, again, I think Trump is just, he's one person. And I understand what you're saying about the power that the president wields, and from, like, an ethics and morality and if I was teaching a philosophy class on moral, and ethics and speech and stuff like that, yeah, okay, like, I think you make a great point. But as far as, like, deplatforming and what it means for the rest of us, and like I said, what if somebody's a political dissident who has information that's really important? There was stuff that came out on the internet about the NSA, our NSA spying program under Obama that, has been ruled illegal. Would we have ever known about that? So just, like, stuff like that. And so, again, it's just who is the gatekeeper and who gets to decide. And every people have their different opinions on it. I think it's unfortunate that, right now it's kind of has become a left versus right talking point in a lot of ways, because I do hear there are people on, say, the more dissident, I don't know what you would call it, sort of the more establishment critical left that are also seeing this as a concern. It seems to me like the closer you are to the power structure or the higher ups, the less concerned you are about this, and the further away you are from that, the more concerned you are of it.
I wonder why, huh?
Listen, I'd say I come from Kuwait, so we really don't have left and right. This is just a very American thing. I don't know where I'm placed in your scheme of things in the U.S. But, like,
I want to ask you a question. And when I was on your, I don't remember what we were talking about, but you used the term snowflake. What does that mean to you?
Oh, wow. Yes.
You were talking about American snowflakes. What are American snowflakes?
Okay.
Let's go.
Social Justice Warriors. They're the ones that cut their hairs very short, dye them red, pink, purple. You name the color, it's on their head.
Isn't that freedom of expression?
No? I mean, it's freedom of expression, but they kind of made the United States regret giving them that shit, because it's like, that's what it's leading to. It's not looking good for the United States. It's really not. But I love the special little snowflakes because they get triggered easily, and I just get to laugh at their expense, basically. I'm very mean, I should say.
Do you have snowflakes there, or is it a uniquely American thing? Or
we call them we call them sand grains over here.
Sand grains? Is that what you said?
That's a little Arab joke for you guys.
That's pretty funny, because you don't have snow.
We really don't. I wish we do sometimes. I've seen snow the first time with Ali in 2019 January. I was 19 years old. First time I ever saw snow. How about that?
Yeah.
So let's remember that. That's pretty cool. But that's not the point. Politically speaking,
yes.
They're what Ben Shapiro called libtards.
Oh, so I'm curious where you guys get. And you don't have to say, but who do you watch, like, on YouTube? Who influences you when you're out there talking on the A Squared podcast?
Actually, no one on YouTube influences me. Yeah, I think we had an episode about this, about idolism and idolizing people. My view on this whole idolization thing is I like to idolize people's attributes more people themselves, because it's good to humanize your heroes. I feel like it makes things easier for when they, everyone's bound to mess up at some point in their lives.
Yeah.
So think of like the Kevin Hart incident. A lot of people started like just stopped being his fan after they found out he said a bunch of crazy shit like a few years back. I don't know, 5 years back. 2012, I think, was the year.
Yeah. 9 years
basically
back. Wow.
Yeah.
And you said your mom is watching, but she doesn't care if you cuss, right? So, hey, Mom.
Yeah, she doesn't. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
Yeah, but it's true. Like that's my whole. Whenever I speak purely off of my mind. I try not to be inspired by other people.
Do you watch things? At least for me, I do watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of YouTubers commentaries, and like with every event that happens in the US, like for example the Capitol siege, the first thing I do, I go to YouTube, I look up what's NBC reporting, what's CNN reporting, but then also what's whatever Fox reporting, and everyone they take the same events and they twist it in a way that they're the exact same facts, but they are incoherent. They're not the same answer. And so I don't know what to trust anymore. I really don't know who to trust anymore.
I don't either.
I trust Alison Morrow.
Don't trust me.
I trust you. I literally watch your videos. That's how I get the information.
Yeah.
So as far as kind of that mainstream media, corporate media side is concerned, because I am fascinated to hear what you guys think about this too. I mean, what do you brought that up, Ali, too, about our media. What's it like where y'all are, in Lebanon or in Kuwait? How does it differ? How is it similar?
Great question.
How do you look at the media over there? What do people say? Oh, fake news over there. What they do?
Yeah, they do, and everyone knows it. Like there are a few, at least in Lebanon, there are a few media stations, and everyone knows they're fake news, and they're all like, at least sorry for. But I feel like every country has that, where like the people in power, they just want you to hear the propaganda of what's going on versus actual news journalists and reporters. The only difference is here you have YouTube where these like independent journalists can come speak out like you. But in like the Middle East, especially in Lebanon, if someone tries to speak out on YouTube or on social media or on Instagram, they get tracked down, they come to their houses, and they get in big trouble. So
same here.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the whole fake news shit, I believe Arabs invented the whole fake news conspiracy.
Why do you think that?
Because Ali, let's be honest, our first line of defense for any question is no. So that must have rooted down to the whole fake news and never believe the media.
You mean like
because
conspiratorial thinking?
Not conspiracy. No. It's more of controlled. Let's say, like news is not as free as people want you to believe it is. It's really not. Like very it might not be obvious, but I think it's very. I don't want to say I think because I believe that it's very controlled. And like even here when my dad reads the newspaper all the time, and he always has the same face, this old man angry face, like, what is this bullshit? What is this bullshit? Oh, man.
Yeah.
News these days are, because I wake up in the morning with him and I drink my coffee with him, and I tend to just enjoy life before I have to be in his position where I have to read the news, right? And he's just like, you know how lucky you are, you don't care what's going on in the world. I was like, if only you knew I run a podcast. It's pretty funny.
What did you guys? I don't know if you saw the video that I did about Iran and that 2009 disputed election, and basically the reports that there had been communication between Obama's State Department and Twitter to remain open so that people could organize protests, which were deadly. And so, like, there was this professor that I had some sound bites from saying that, the U.S. doesn't mind, its social media platforms undermining other countries, but when it comes to theirs, they want to shut down. What did you think about all that? Any thoughts or no?
I think that, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, they do influence elections. We know this already, right? And the fact that, in Uganda right now, they have the elections. They shut down all their social media pre-elections because they know that it's getting manipulated. Smart people know how to hack these things and push things in one way or another, and their foreign governments can interfere. And when in the United States, we have that interference, right? People say like Russian bots or Chinese bots or whatever. I'm sure those things are real. If you're in the comments, subscribe. By the way, if you're a Chinese bot, subscribe.
If you're a Chinese bot, you might as well send your shit to our stuff.
We have one person in the chat that says, "As an Arab, I can tell you he's not wrong."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so you have confirmation from another Arab, and it's funny.
Yeah.
He must be a millennial, or she or he is a millennial, because only millennials say he's not wrong instead of he's right.
Yeah,
and it drives me nuts. It's like, just say right or wrong, because my friend, she always says this, you're not wrong. I'm like, so I'm right? Is that just the avoidant, wishy-washy snowflake way of saying you're wrong or right? Just say it.
Exactly. See, you're getting the point. These snowflakes or sandflakes, since she's an Arab.
Not that I want to call somebody in the chat a snowflake, but I'm just saying, I just feel like, just say you're right or wrong, just say it. This is one of my personal pet peeves.
But no, I know I'm right. So, and I think that's what's important. No, I'm just kidding. But it's crazy.
Let's see. Okay, this person says a snowflake is just a way of insulting and limiting their value, just like calling someone a Nazi. Once a person is less than human, they really don't have the right to express themselves. I mean, I guess depending, it's like, I see what they're saying, but I will say that when you say it jokingly and you're kind of just like making, you're kind of, I don't know, like you're in a weird way comedically critiquing society. I feel like it's a little different than pointing to somebody as like on either side. Like, you could say both of those terms, I think, depending on the way you're saying it and the intention behind it, and it could be in a lot of ways two totally different things. What do you guys think about that? Is it hypocritical?
The person, I think that person is a snowflake.
Yeah. That's my idea. I mean, there's so many things that are so wrong in the world. There are people literally in concentration camps in China. There are people starving, people dying around the world, right, just by corrupt leaders. And now you're just saying, if I use the term snowflake or something, that's the biggest concern we have right now. Or Kevin Hart's tweets from 12 years ago. This is my issue with
it shouldn't be an issue.
There are issues that are worth addressing. And there are things that are just like, what? Do I need to? Yeah, right.
I know. I think sometimes, we get kind of hung up on identitarianism and linguistics and stuff, when it's like, again, like you guys were saying earlier, the actions of somebody matter more, and it's just like, oh, that person said that, it must mean they're in this group or that group or what. I don't know. Anyway, but I wanted to somebody asked this question. Actually, this is Bill Doris. So he was a photojournalist, like me. I was on TV, but he says, what does American media misreport the most during violent conflicts in the Middle East? For example, rocket launch attacks into Israel by Hamas and vice versa. That's a small topic.
Can you repeat that? That was fast. I'm sorry.
Okay. What does American media misreport the most during violent conflicts in the Middle East? For example, rocket launch attacks into Israel by Hamas and vice versa. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to go direct into the Hamas versus Israel or Israel versus Palestine conflict or whatever, and how that's misrepresented.
That's on the other side of Arabia. Ali, you can take this away.
Take it away. I think it's hard with news, right? Because you just want to focus on the highlights or the things that'll get clicks. Like, these guys are shooting missiles or on other people and etc. But for the vast majority of people are just normal people living their lives, trying to live their life normally. If you want to have fair, accurate journalism, you get everyone's stories and highlight those. Versus in America, all we see on the news is just the biggest explosion. This explosion just happened, or these Hamas threw rocks at Israel, or Israel, bombed the shit out of Hamas or something. That's all we hear is the crazy highlights, where in reality there's so many normal people living. I wish.
You want to know what's the funny part?
What?
Lebanon is a whole country, right? They're just reporting on this area, this tiny area of bombing in sight, as if it's happening all over the damn country, right? And it's like, I don't know. It's crazy, because when I remember reading the news, especially about Lebanon, it's crazy. Everyone's acting like it's happening. It's not saying that the bombs that are happening is not an issue. It is an issue, but it does not reflect on the rest of the country. That's not how it works.
And that's all we hear is what you're saying, is that we just hear about the violence and none of the cultural stuff or the belly dancing. They don't ever put that on the mainstream news. And you guys, that's why we go to your channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone said you're not wrong is the millennial way of saying I can't disprove what you're saying, but I disagree with you anyway. No, I think that person was agreeing.
Yes.
Let's see. If there are 500 concentration camps in a tiny region of China alone, the scale of authoritarian government is shocking. I don't know about that, but I do know there's some stuff that we don't know about that's going on in China, and that has to do with the media.
But if you do want to know about it, we had a girl or a woman, actually, her name was Jawhar Ilham. Her dad is in the concentration camp now as we speak as a political prisoner. She talked to us in depth about the stuff that's happening in Uyghur China right now. And it's crazy. It just shows you how the Chinese government is very, what's the word? Crazy.
That's a big word.
I'm just going to show everybody... Here, okay, so I have us in like a little three of us at the bottom of the screen showing your channel. And so I think this is it. Is it Uyghur? Is that how you say it? The barely escaped Uyghur. Yeah. Okay, and I'll click on it.
Uyghur barely escaped China. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute it, but
check it out.
Yeah, there you guys are talking to her. So wow, so she did a whole lot. 40 minutes. Was she scared for her safety?
Let's pause it for a second. Okay. We did 2 parts of this episode. So 40 minutes and I think again 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Because of the amount of details that she was talking about, it was crazy. And like we did not agree on doing a 2-part, but I at the end felt like, okay, we kind of have a timestamp here. So we'll just cut off the episode here and then start again. And it ended up being a 2-part episode about how drone society basically is in China, and it's crazy. Like she talks a lot in depth, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'd rather people go and actually watch the episode. Not trying to plug, but actually want people to be informed about what's going on in China.
This is
go ahead.
Pretty much what's happening is that that you have you have the Chinese Communist Party, right? They say that these group of people, the Uyghurs, they're bad people, right? Because of they're Nazis, because of whatever their religion or something. They're extremists, is literally what they say. And then they tell them, hey, you either become one of us, or we're gonna put you in these concentration camps, these re-education camps, pretty much.
Yep, re-education centers, not even camps.
Right, re-education centers. So if you just want to be a regular Muslim, right? The Uyghurs are Muslims primarily, and you're gonna get sent into these re-education camps. And if you're willing to switch the boat, then I guess you're safe and fine. But not really, because like if you want to just be the freedom to be yourself and say what you think, they consider them extremists. And so that's the situation in China. There are like between 2 to 6 million people in these camps right now. Imagine that, right? Speaking of Nazis.
Did you say what her dad was sent for?
Yeah, basically a political prisoner for outspeaking against the Chinese government. Blah blah blah. You get the. But it's what's amazing about our guest is like, especially someone like her. She spoke in front of world leaders in the United Nations, and she actually took the time to talk to us, inform us about what's going on. Because literally, if you ask anyone in the streets, oh, what happened in the outside of the U.S. What happened in the Capitol building in the United States? Oh yeah, they stormed it. Okay.
Right.
What happened in Uyghur China? I don't know, right? They literally go like, so it's.
What do you think? What do you think it is that gets our attention about this stuff versus like one thing versus another? You know, why do you think some humanitarian crises get the attention of the media and others don't?
We care about attention in the United States versus in China. You can't really talk about these things at all. You can't even tweet about it or talk about it. Or if you want to report on these things, you get in trouble. I mean, she was telling us how her family in China are getting threatened because of her talking to people like us. For example, you won't have that in the United States. Everyone can tweet about it, their opinion. Everyone can like make a YouTube video talking about it. And that's what really drives up the virality, I think, of the whole incident. Everyone sends photos and makes memes and such. You can't make memes of what's going on there because you get decapitated, pretty much.
No, I think it's a lot more than that, actually. There's actually more to it. A lot of people tend to look at the United States because of how frequent these news are with these crazy things happening, whether it's Trump saying another stupid shit on Twitter or they stormed a building that's important, or they're marching because some, police decided to do something crazy, like kill a person because he tried to pass on a fake $20 bill. And it's just one thing after the other that's flooding the news media, and it's over publicized. And you have another factor where human beings just genuinely don't want to look at the hard things in life. Like, it's hard to look at a picture of a 21st century Holocaust, and feeling powerless, not powerless, but feeling like you lack the ability to do anything, when that's not true at all. We all have we all have Twitter, we all have Facebook, Instagram. We can all spread the awareness and let our governments know, hey, that shit does not fly, right? But
so now are you arguing for free speech now, Ali?
Oh, no, okay. I'm arguing for.
By the way, Ali does not believe we have freedom, right? Isn't that something that we also debated, that there's no such thing really as freedom?
Yeah, freedom. Yeah, freedom does not exist. I can say this right now. Freedom doesn't. There's no such thing as freedom. It's an illusion that the United States forefathers placed so to put you all under the. I'm not getting into that rabbit hole.
Ali lives next to a race car NASCAR track. No, you don't really. But people are asking, is that a bee or is somebody moving furniture? I don't know. Is that LA or is that Kuwait? Do you hear that?
I don't think.
No, that's not us. It's midnight over here. Like,
you don't
people
hear
are
that?
all asleep. I hear that, but it's not coming from me. I think it's coming from either you or.
We live in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody driving by me. Is that LA?
It could be me, but there's no one driving.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's just the CIA then. It's in our.
The CIA, yeah, they don't want this happening.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just saying, okay. Edward Snowden shed a lot of light. But let's go back.
We were just talking about freedom, and the CIA popped in. Obviously, that was not by chance.
Exactly. Proves my point exactly. Freedom is an illusion, because to have total freedom means to have a lot of what's it called? I think I used the word chaos. Like, when we're free to do whatever we want, like. You can't say freedom until it infringes on the freedom of others, because that's not freedom. Because if I'm free to kill someone, then that person lost their freedom because I was free. And now you enter this whole freedom paradox, right? And it flattens my brain out. And it's just...
Well, okay, what if you can be free and not have to kill people? What if you can be free and do whatever you want, but what you want to do is not killing people?
Yeah, but it's not okay. That's you. I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm saying, what if another person who's crazy enough, in this freedom that everyone's so obsessed with, right, and decides, you know what, I'm free. I want to go kill someone.
That person isn't free. If you're gonna go kill someone, he has demons or something. It's not that person isn't.
Well, I mean, there's always that saying that your freedom ends at the beginning of my nose, right? So can you say that?
But that's not freedom. Because I should be free to go way past.
I'm gonna Google what freedom. Right? I'm gonna see what Merriam-Webster says freedom.
We did this last time. We
can
go
definition of freedom. Hey, somebody says, "Amen." I lived in Lebanon and Jordan from 2002 to 2008, and he's right. See, somebody who says he's right instead of he's not wrong.
Yeah!
No issues as an American, the most beautiful people ever. I was just looking at old photos of my time there. And this is a definition of freedom. The power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Absence of subjection to foreign domination or despotic government. The state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. Okay, well, the third one I probably... could say. The other two, you're probably right, we don't have. The power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. So you're right, that doesn't really exist.
Hindrance or restraint, right? My hindrance or restraint starts when I come, as you say, to your nose, and then your freedom starts. So then, where is the freedom?
I don't know.
Right? I'd say you're a freer country. You're not a free country. Right? That's how I would say it.
All right. Well, so let's switch topics real fast. Since Ali 2 is in California, I would love to know what life is like there with COVID. This does have to do with freedom, I guess, so it's kind of still on the same vein. But what are you guys dealing with in LA? Because I'm hearing that eventually your rules may come to our area in Washington. So I want to know what to prepare for. And then what's it like in Kuwait? Like what are, countries and around Kuwait, what are they doing? So you're just curious.
Lockdown. Coming from Lebanon, I was in Lebanon last week, and there right now they have like a 24/7 kind of curfew. Everyone's locked in.
Really?
Can't even leave the house at all.
How do you get groceries?
That's happening right now. You can't even get groceries. You got to call on delivery. So they come, they drop off.
Is there a backlog on that? Like, do you have to wait sometimes days for your groceries to get there?
I'm sure. I'm not there right now. I don't know. Can't report what's happening right now. But when I was there, it was like 9 to 5. It was like open, and then 5 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't 24/7. It was just like, okay. Yeah. So you could go out during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You could go out during the day, and then So versus here in LA, I mean, you can go out, I guess, whenever you want.
Isn't there a curfew in LA?
There's
10 o'clock.
I haven't seen anyone like any police officer chasing anyone.
So they're not like enforcing it, even if there is.
Yeah, they're not. No one's enforcing anything. I mean, I guess the stores are shut down. Like most stores are shut down. But I guess everything that's outside is still open, and it's more like the fear. I guess everyone is afraid to go see everyone else. That's pretty much it. I feel like people are just worried about, because they tell you that I've heard sources that say that 1 in 5 people in California have COVID. And I've heard people say that, not that many people actually have it. So I'm not really sure what is truth when it comes to COVID statistics.
I have to go in like 5 minutes, so I'll just quickly talk about what's going on in Jordan and Kuwait.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, we already have gone a long Jordan, time.
Look at
time flies with you guys.
That's
okay.
Pretty cool.
That's
great. Time flies when you're having fun too. So you have that. I was in Jordan in March when COVID just started being the trendy virus around the medical world, and I remember they announced a lockdown 24 hours before it happened. In 24 hours, Jordan was able to place the military, all over the country, martial law. No one was allowed to leave for literally weeks on end. I remember as soon as they announced it, we had to actually film, I think, an episode. Where did we? Yeah. And then I said, Ali, I can't come because I have to go to the grocery like right now. We're going under lockdown. And like, I've never seen a huge grocery literally zero out on everything, go out of stock in almost everything. I was lucky enough to be one of the few people who, not few actually, most people got what they needed. And I was lucky enough to get everything I needed. And that was until the Kuwaiti government decided to do a major, citizen re-evacuation, I think is what they call it.
Re-evacuation? What is that?
I don't know what it is. I'll explain to you what happened. They sent out as many planes as they could to each country, and every country's embassy, Kuwaiti embassy, got all the citizens and students to come to the embassy, right? And then I don't know what you call that. Maybe someone in the comments can help me out. Kuwait was fun. I had to wear a bracelet basically because I came from outside the country and I had to stay indoors for 28 days.
Wow.
There's that sound again.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
It's the CIA, man. It's not here. We don't have anyone driving by. We live in the middle of nowhere.
That's true.
I mean, it's literally not here too. Like, the roads are empty outside. But yeah, that's what happened with us.
Wait, see where you're moving about and whatnot after you land too, right?
Yeah, they track our phones. We have to do. Up till now, I've done about 16 nasopharynx swabs, which is the nose swabs that they do.
Wow.
I've done 15 until now.
So you're saying we shouldn't complain?
I'm not saying you shouldn't complain. I'm just saying.
How's the economy over there? Like, are people having, because we're all fighting about stimulus checks and people, unemployment and whatnot. What's it like over there?
See, it's different here because I call Kuwait God's little heaven on earth because as soon as the lockdown happened, the government's like every small and large business owner has nothing to worry about because the country is going to compensate for your losses during the lockdown, right? So
what do you think about the
oil
United
money.
States then, bickering over giving people even just like $600? And we don't even have healthcare here, right? Do you guys have state healthcare over there? Or like, how does that work?
free healthcare.
What do people think about the United States and that, like, oh, we're like this really wealthy country and people don't have healthcare because they lost their job and we're fighting over $600 checks?
I mean, we kind of don't. We're just saying thank God we live in Kuwait. Yeah,
because it's God's country on earth.
I mean, no, it's what I call it. This isn't what we call. I call it God's little heaven on earth, because free medical care, free education. They send you off to university paid by the government and given a salary. If they can't solve your health issue in Kuwait, they ship you to another country where they pay for your expenses and your surgery. You get a house as soon as you get married, as well as about.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to end my YouTube channel. I'm moving to Kuwait.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't even pay taxes. Check this out. We don't pay taxes. Yeah, we don't. And we have the strongest currency in the world. So I'm gonna end it on that. I have to go.
Okay. Real estate. Okay.
But thank you so much for
go to your okay, and maybe Allie too. You and I can just wrap it up with what people can get on your channel and whatnot. But Allie, thank you, and good luck with your class.
So much.
Yep. See you again soon.
Thank you. Peace.
Now I have to figure out how to. Let's see. He's gonna go away and just be frozen. So let me see if I can go to call 2. Hang on. How do I do this? Maybe we'll just talk with him frozen in the middle. Because I don't know how to get, I don't know. I'm going to see what this looks like. Hang on. No, that's you. Call 1. That was Allie. Dual. No, dual is, let's see. Hang on, everybody. I'm going to look at, okay. Oh, well. We're just going to go back to, this is kind of hilarious, actually. Can you see what he looks like? He's just making this face. Yeah, someone's like, LOL, that face. Okay, so somebody says, is it oil money? That's what people are asking. Yeah, oil money. Is that why the U.S. likes it over there so much? Yeah. 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 Right. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna go through a couple more chats here and then hang on. So there's thoughts on the narrative that free speech has somehow become harmful to others and it's become counterproductive to someone else's healing, thus speech should be restricted. I think that's kind of what we were talking about. If I understand what this person's saying, it's like, which maybe I'm getting it wrong, but that we're restricting speech on like it being offensive or like, in other words, people have conflated or have moved the goalpost from violence being like actual physical violence to now that including speech. And so you can say somebody's being, violent towards you, even just with their words, that it's which is then you can have all these policies to restrict that because if you see, I think that's what that person's saying. Yeah, exactly. And you're in college over here, right? Oh, you did. What was it like where you went to school? Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. They're saying you're muted. Hang on a second. Maybe it's... Hang on, let me go to this. I'm going to go to... Here. Can you guys hear him now? Talk now, Allie. Can you guys hear him now? Don't cancel. Hang on. All All right. California Allie is muted. Can't hear. Okay, but keep talking, Allie. Just count to 10 and let's see. Because it may. I hope the call didn't come through on Allie 1's. No, still no sound. Okay, keep talking. What? Oh no. I don't know. I think because when Allie left, it ruined something, unfortunately. And then someone says it's CIA again. Damn them. Filibuster Allison's show. Oh no, this is what's... All right, well, then you know what? I'm just gonna... I'll end it, but what we'll do is we'll just have to do another... Oh, and they're looking at you, but hearing my voice, so... Yeah, so... I'm sorry you guys can't hear him. Basically what he was saying was he cured cancer and has found a way for us to all live on Mars, and we can leave anytime. And he has also giving away $1 million to whoever can understand his lips when he's talking. So sorry you missed that, but yeah, go to the A2 or A squared or whatever you want to say podcast. The link is in the description, so you can see that they've got all the interview that he was talking about with the woman whose father was in the Chinese, what did you call them again? Re-education camp. They have that. You can go watch that. They've a fascinating array. So they can't hear you, Allie, but you can wave goodbye. Okay, bye everybody. See ya.